Finally! This place really is perfect.
More like run down. Rebecca, this place is a mess.
Well, Bill's already signed off on us doing whatever we need to gussy up the place, but honestly, what did you expect, Malcolm? We're in the heart of the Glades. It's not exactly the Ritz-Carlton.
Isn't that the truth?
Everyone has to start somewhere, dear. I think this is the perfect starting point for my clinic.
Humble beginnings and all that?
Everything great always starts from something small. That's what my dad used to say.
Still, are you certain that we had to have this set up here? This isn't exactly the safest area to start a new venture in.
That's exactly why doing this is so necessary. This place can be a safe haven for those in need.
Rebecca, I'm not so sure.
Oh, I almost forgot the best part.
Where are you going?
You gotta keep up if you want to find out, Slowpoke.
Fine.
About time you made it. You almost missed the most exciting feature of this building.
Okay. What is it then?
You'll just have to see it for yourself, Mr. Grumpus.
Oh my. What a beautiful sunset.
When the realtor had me looking over all the buildings, they told me that this is the one that genuinely had the best view of Star City. I took one look, and I knew in an instant this was the one.
And you think this view is better than my high-rise office building?
Does your big, fancy building give you a complete view of the entire city?
Well, at least a fair amount of it. But you really based a huge financial decision on this place's view of a sunset?
Malcolm, this building isn't just in the heart of the Glades. It's at the very heart of the city itself. While the view is nice, I chose this place because that's what I want this clinic to be. The heart that Star City needs.
I still think this is foolish and dangerous. I mean, nothing good happens on this side of town.
But it didn't used to be that way. You didn't grow up here. So, you don't know what Star City was at its peak.
And you do. Aren't you a little young to be remembering any kind of heydays?
Well, there's no reason I can't help contribute to a new one. This city is starting to lose itself. It needs something to bring it hope again.
Hope, huh?
Hope is everything. As long as you keep hope alive, anything is possible.
All right. You convinced me.
Good. Now stop being a pill and come enjoy what remains of the sunset with me.
I have to admit, it's quite serene up here.
It really is. My favorite part is getting to watch the whole city convert from day to night. It's almost like watching a brand new place come to life.
I can't deny that it is quite a sight to behold. Maybe it's just the way you look at things that's so captivating.
That is why you married me, isn't it?
All that and more. But you're absolutely certain that this hope of yours is the best thing for this city?
Positively certain, my love.
All right. Then you have my complete support.
You mean it?
I mean, I will most likely always have my concerns, but I could never deny the joy and excitement that I see you have for this new opportunity. I dare say it's even starting to rub off on me now.
I'm glad it is. I love you, Malcolm.
I love you too, Rebecca.
Malcolm?
Oh, Oliver. Do forgive my wandering thoughts, my boy. This time of year always has me feeling rather nostalgic. Please, have a seat.
I'll stand, thanks.
Oh, come now, Oliver. This posturing really is unnecessary at this point. I returned your teammate as a show of good faith, and I even picked a public venue so that you wouldn't feel as though you were being led into a trap. The least you can do here is be cordial enough to humor me. Thank you. I must say, I'm surprised that you finally responded to my message. It's been almost 2 weeks since then, so I assumed you were just avoiding me.
I've been a bit busy helping my friend with her recovery from the injuries you gave to her.
I see. And, how is the little songbird? As tough as she was throughout our time together, I can't imagine that she...
What do you want, Malcolm?
Really? We can't exchange pleasantries first before getting down to brass tacks?
I find nothing pleasant in having to speak with you, so I suggest you get to the point.
Very well. I want the same thing I wanted in my office that night before things progressively grew out of hand. I want to talk.
What could you possibly want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about pretty much anything now that everything's out in the open with nary a mask between us. Though I would be remiss if I didn't point out the irony of this particular situation we find ourselves in.
How so?
I mean, the sheer fact that almost a year ago the idea of me wanting to speak to you at all would have been ludicrous. And now...
Now you're practically begging me to talk to you. You're right. It is ironic.
You must be enjoying the reversal on some twisted level.
I'm not exactly happy about being in the position of hating someone I once respected.
Are you sure that's hatred you're feeling? Or simply just disappointment?
Probably both.
Why don't you go ahead and just say what you're thinking about, Oliver? I can tell from that death glare you're giving me that something is on your mind.
I want to know what happened between you and my father.
Oh, of course. Now that explains the hatred you're feeling.
It doesn't explain why you would kill your best friend, though. I've heard a rough summary of what might have went down from 2 different sources, but I want to hear it from you.
I imagine your sources were, Thea and Bill? Yes?
Don't dodge my question, Malcolm. You said you wanted to talk. This is where we're going to start.
All right, have it your way. I came to your father and asked him to help me find a way to save this city from itself. Robert was always more fond of blinding himself to the truth of the real world outside his privileged view from his top-floor office than actually looking at it. He decided one day, after many years of loyal cooperation, that what we were doing was leading into something more than he was capable of stomaching. So he backed out. but not before threatening to expose me if I ever came after him.
Still didn't stop you from killing him.
No, it didn't. Not that I don't regret that decision, of course.
But that's really all it took for you to turn on him? One bad conversation about his apprehension towards your plan?
He turned his back on me first, Oliver. He was supposed to be my partner. But when I needed him most, he abandoned me.
Then why did you have to kill my mother along with him? You didn't have to leave us as orphans.
I'll admit, that was not a part of my original designs. But your mother had also threatened me after your father and I had our falling out. Given she was the fiercer of the two of them, that gave me cause for concern as to what she might attempt to do if only Robert were to disappear.
Why would she have a reason to threaten you if she wasn't involved?
Because Robert had the worst poker face when it came to keeping a cool head under pressure. He made it very apparent to her just how shaken up he felt after our conversation, and I couldn't very well take the risk of calling Moira's bluff from her less than veiled threat. Not with everything I had at stake. Again, I took no pleasure in carrying out that task.
You know, you keep saying things like you regret that decision, or that you took no pleasure in carrying it out. But that's not an apology for what you've done.
I wasn't trying to apologize. Let me make this absolutely clear to you, Oliver. I may have regrets about my actions, but that does not mean I would hesitate to do it again if I thought my operation was in danger.
And by operation, you mean causing a massive genocide to assuage your own feelings about what's happened to your life?
This isn't just about my feelings. Let me ask you something. Do you remember what this city was like before all the poverty and corruption had fully taken over?
I like to think so.
That's because you're young and naive enough to believe that. Unfortunately, that naivete of yours was your father's doing. He thought he could shield you and Thea from the ugliness of this world by making you wear the same blinders that he did. But pretending the rot doesn't exist doesn't mean it hasn't always been there.
And that excuses you to commit mass murder?
I'm not the first person to have this idea, you know. Star City has been at this point once before. In the mid-1930s, Starling City, as it was known at the time, was suffering from an unreal crime wave. All sorts of derelicts and gangsters from all over the country flocked to this city to pick it apart. Unbeknownst to them, however, there was already a mafia family that had laid claim to this territory, the Bertinelli crime family. The patriarch at the time, Louis Bertinelli, he loved this city and was appalled to see the place that he had spent his life protecting terrorized by degenerates. So, he took it upon himself to cut out the cancer, as it were. He burned Starling City to the ground, and from the ashes came the city as we have known it, Star City. The name was picked by Louis himself because it was his fondest wish for this city to shine like the stars.
What's your point?
My point, Oliver, is that this is not the first time that drastic measures have needed to be taken to help clean the rot from a city that has lost its way. I'm just carrying out the vision that has been passed down through many civilizations throughout history. What I am doing is a part of the natural order of things.
What you're doing is sick and wrong.
And who are you to tell me what's right and wrong? Do you really think yourself morally righteous simply because your mission has less casualties? Because I've seen the results from the approach you take. It's no less harmful or destructive.
Did you really ask me here just so you could scold me on how I help the city?
I'm trying to educate you before it's too late. You have so much potential at your disposal, Oliver, if only you'd use it
To be a killer. Like you?
to become something better than just some street vigilante. Honestly, Oliver, do you really believe the half measures that you take make any major difference? Sure, you take a few criminals off the streets, but that won't really fix anything in the long-term scheme of things.
Why do you even care, Malcolm? We're supposed to be enemies. But here you are, lecturing me on the finer points of how I can better serve this city.
Maybe it's the nostalgia I feel for your parents. Or maybe it's because I see a little of myself in you.
I am nothing like you!
Oh, no? Well, we are both bound by our tragedies to do whatever we can for our respective crusades, even at the cost of our lives. Am I wrong? You know, I truly believed when your sister joined me that she was the kindred spirit your father refused to be. Now, I'm beginning to realize that I put my faith in the wrong queen. Yet again. I think maybe it's fate that we've ended up on this path together.
I don't really care what you think! You're insane if you think I would ever even consider listening to anything you have to say after everything you've done! You killed my parents. You made my sister an accomplice to domestic terrorism. You've killed anyone and everyone who's even remotely gotten in your way.
And what exactly have you done with all the skills at your disposal that was any more noble? You may not have killed anyone, Hood, but that doesn't excuse all the broken bodies you've left behind in your respective wake. I don't think you realize that the more you condemn me, the more you just condemn your own hypocrisy. It's probably why you keep failing.
Excuse me?
Think about it, Oliver. We've done battle more than once now, but every single time you've had any sort of lead in our conflicts, something holds you back from finishing what you start. You want to know what I think?
I'm sure you're gonna tell me, regardless of what answer I give.
I think you're afraid of taking that next step. I think that despite just how formidable you are nowhere near prepared for the type of commitment you would have to give to really save this city.
I don't think you know the first thing about what I'm capable of. Believe me when I say I've had my fair share of going down the path that you are on. And all it ever did was cause me more pain.
Oh, have we reached the part where now you try to reason with me?
I don't know if I even can reason with you, Malcolm. What I do know is that I am not going to let any hindrance you think I have stop me from seeing this through to the very end. One way or another, I am going to find a way to stop you.
Given our previous history from this past year, I sincerely doubt that. You've had what? 5 years to hone your skills? I've had the last 15 to prepare for every contingency leading to this moment. But you are more than welcome to try and prove me wrong if you really think that would be a better use of your effort.
You're leaving?
I thought that maybe I could convince you to see just how futile your methods really are, but I can tell when I'm wasting my breath. If you are this driven by your pitiable ideals that you genuinely feel as though you can still take me on, so be it.
I guess we'll just have to see which one of us is right.
I guess we will. We're in the final countdown now, Oliver. The big day is tomorrow. If you're planning on doing something, then I suggest you utilize what time you have left before it runs out. I know I will.
CBW Productions presents Green Arrow, Year 1. Written by Wyatt Bowden. Edited by Joseph E.W. Produced by CBW and the Knighthood Project.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, we know. You've been saying that. You haven't stopped saying it since we left.
You mean to tell me that you don't find any of this just a little bit strange?
Should we? We were just paid to do a job, pure and simple.
Yeah, a job that, according to the mission report, has had several other teams sent out here who have never reported back in.
I mean, that is odd, but... There's just one guy out here, right? It doesn't matter if it's one guy or 100. The point is, we've been paid. If the Dragon Lady wants to waste her time and resources sending us on a wild goose chase over some washed-up billionaire, then that's her prerogative.
Do you think he's, even still out here?
Oh, Queen? If he is, then he's probably starving to death. Or like there's a lot of food to find in this place. Yeah, well, speaking of food... I'd like to get some tonight, so how about we quit yapping and keep looking? Ah!
Holy shit!
Man down!
You just say anything?
Nothing. Let's split up. You go one way, I'll go the other.
Split up?
It's just some rich guy with a bow, right? Find your damn nerve.
Oh, God.
There is no escape for you.
You stay away from me. I'm armed.
Now what will you do?
Where the hell are you? What the hell are you?
I'm justice you can't run from.
Please. Please don't kill me.
Why would I let you live? You have nothing I'm interested in. You're just another team of mercs here to finish what Chen Na Wei won't.
No, please. We're not just out here for you. We're here doing security work as well.
Security? For who?
Well, for Chen Na Wei.
She's here. Where is she?
She set up a new camp on the eastern side of the island. I have a map in my pocket. If you just let me reach in it, I'll mark the location.
It's just as well. I would have killed you anyway.
Good form, McKenna. but you need to keep your defense up. You're leaving your left side wide open.
My left side is guarded just fine.
Oh, yeah? Then maybe you should be guarding it a little better than just fine, if that's the best defense you got for it.
All right, I give. Let me up.
Aside from the fact that you keep getting your ass handed to you, you're doing a lot better than I expected.
You know, I'm also just trying to be courteous of your injuries.
Okay. If that's what's holding you back, then drop the courtesy.
What if I hurt you for real?
Ha! It's cute you think you can. But don't you worry about me. I'm a big girl. Just like you. So, how about you show me what you got, super cop? Come on. That's not all you got in that tank, is it?
Oh, shit! Are you okay? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have...
Don't you be sorry. You gave me exactly what I asked for. Not bad.
Need help?
You girls playing nice over here?
Not for a lack of trying.
But that's alright. With what we're up against, we don't exactly have time to worry about playing nice.
I wish you'd reconsider going back out there. Your injuries haven't exactly fully healed.
After all the time I've spent trying to bring an end to this Viper mess, there's no way I'm being sidelined for this. That said, I'm gonna go clean myself up and check my bandages. That was one hell of a kick, McKenna. Nice job.
I know you worry about her, but she'll be okay. She really is one tough lady.
I know. It's just...
You have feelings for her.
What? No, Gina. I'm just...
Holly, it's okay. We're both adults here. It's all right to admit that you like her.
Gina, I'm sorry.
Don't be. What happened between us was a long time ago. There's nothing wrong with moving on. Just make sure you do me one favor.
Of course, anything.
Don't keep her guessing like you did with me. Make the first move and make it count, okay?
Yeah. I think I can manage that.
Good. Because if you piss her off, you're definitely going to get more of an earful than anything I ever gave you.
Oliver. Hey. How'd things go with Merlyn? Went that well, did it?
About as well as I thought it would.
What did he even want to talk about?
He was trying to convince me to see his side of things, and that his way was the better path to take.
Which I imagine didn't go over very well after you told him to go screw himself.
Yeah, something like that. Something is gnawing at me about our conversation, though.
What is it?
Just this nagging feeling I can't seem to shake. Malcolm was very confident with everything he said. Almost too confident.
Well, he's about to put his master plan into action. And he's holding all the trump cards right now. It's not like he doesn't have a reason to feel smug about a victory. He's pretty sure it's in the bag.
I guess. How's Thea doing with getting inside the Queen Consolidated servers?
Son of a bitch!
Does that answer your question?
Hey, Speedy. How's it going?
How does it look like it's going?
Kinda like you've hit a brick wall.
More like several. I've been at this for hours, and I've only made the smallest bit of progress.
Well, unfortunate as that is, don't take it out on yourself.
It's my fault. I upgraded our cybersecurity 2 years ago, and here it is biting me in the ass because I never thought I would ever have to break into my own company's network.
You couldn't even try finding a backdoor into your own computer?
What do you think I tried first? Walters already had IT revoke my access. If I was at my office computer, I could probably break through, but from here,
And you're absolutely certain there's no way for you to get through from down here?
I mean, if we had a month, then sure. But nothing that will help us in the next 24 hours.
What about Steele?
What about him?
Well, it's not like Steele is the most adept at being computer savvy. Why don't you try his access?
Hold that thought.
You think of something?
More like I remembered something. When we were upgrading the security, Walter whined about how he didn't want anything that was going to be too difficult for him to access. After many exhausting conversations, I convinced him to at least get the basic rudimentary security protection for his computer.
That doesn't sound like a very safe idea for the CFO of a multi-billion-dollar company.
I did what I had to, so we could actually keep moving forward into the 21st century. I just made him sign an agreement to turn over anything proprietary and immediately scrub it from his computer the moment I received it.
If that's the case, then what do you think we're gonna find?
Just because he signed it doesn't mean he listened. Voila! We're in.
We are seriously gonna have to fix this rather large, gaping hole in our security once we get the company back.
That, big brother, is a problem to deal with after tomorrow. For today, I'm just grateful that Walter's obstinance has actually been useful for once.
So, now that we're in, do we know what we're looking for?
Well, my hope was that we might find something that leads us to the dispersal device.
Which would mean I need to look for anything Walter may have sent at Malcolm's behest, to his usual drop-off point before they ousted me from QC.
Are you certain that he would be careless enough to leave something like that behind?
Not really. But desperate times, right?
How's the search going?
Thea's finally found some form of a way in. But now we're just hoping that Walter Steele was stupid enough to leave evidence behind that could lead us to the device.
Hope we find something soon. We don't have a lot of time left. We need all the help we can get before tomorrow night.
I got it!
That was fast.
I'm definitely no computer genius, but it helps when you know what you're looking for. Well, that's interesting.
What did you find?
I have the original purchase order I sent for the dispersal device, but it looks like Walter changed the order before it was shipped.
What did he change?
The amount ordered was altered to 4 dispersal units, instead of just purchasing 1.
Well, that certainly explains why he was acting so damn confident.
He's got contingencies.
I do have some good news. It looks like all the devices are synced together to activate with the broadcast from a radio transmitter.
I'm not seeing how that's good news.
It's good news because I can trace the signal if he has the transmitter active to ready the devices. The transmitter has a specific radius for proximity. So, all I need to do, after locating it, is track the broadcast back to whatever point in the city is receiving it. And we'll have the location of all the dispersal devices.
That's good work. Do you think it'll be long before you find them?
It depends on Malcolm, honestly. I'm putting in an alert for the broadcast frequency now. The moment all of them come online, I'll be able to find their location.
I wonder...
You alright, Gina?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I was just thinking about something.
Care to share with the rest of the class?
Thea says we have to wait for him to get the devices online before we can go after them, right? What if we do something that forces him to ready them sooner?
What did you have in mind?
Well, I do have that DNA evidence linking him to the mayor's death just sitting around.
Ooh, I see. We attack the snake first, and then let him back himself into a corner he can't get out of. I like it.
Are you sure about this? It sounds a little risky betting on his reaction.
Desperate times, right?
You, wanted to see me, boss?
Ricardo! Yes, do come in.
Something wrong, sir?
No more than usual, but do forgive my somber mood, Ricardo. I'm afraid this time of year does make me rather wistful over certain things.
It's understandable, given the circumstance. What has you looking over that watch so intently?
This watch was a gift from my late son. It was given to me on the last Father's Day he and I were able to celebrate together, before he went missing.
I can, see how that would hold some significance.
Well, more than that, this was a gift that Tommy bought and paid for with his own money. He worked tirelessly for months at almost every diner in Star City just to save up enough money to get it. All because I had offhandedly mentioned that this watch reminded me of one his mother gave me a long time ago.
What happened to that watch?
I buried it with Rebecca, so that she would always have a piece of me with her.
Then I can definitely appreciate the sentiment behind that. But why did he work so hard when he had a trust fund that he could have just taken care of that with?
I asked him that very question, and he told me he didn't want to pay for it with our money. That would have been like me giving a gift to myself. He wanted me to have something special bought from money that he earned with his own two hands. I've worn this watch every day since.
Sounds like he was a good kid.
He was. You know, Ricardo, when I first hired you, I thought you were little more than a brutish thug.
Well, if we're being honest, I thought you were just some rich asshole with delusions of grandeur.
Oh, Ricardo. Oh, that rapacious wit of yours has always been one of your most interesting qualities. It's always reminded me of Tommy.
Really? I remind you of your nice son who worked his ass off to buy you that watch?
Tommy was very kind, but he was also very witty and shrewd. All of which I'm more than positive he got from his mother. Still, I can't help but see a bit of him in you. Perhaps it's your tenacity, or maybe it's the confidence you carry in your steps. Regardless, I would like to take a moment and express just how much I appreciate the time that we've spent working together. In many ways, I've come to think of you as the son I never had.
I appreciate that, sir. I never knew my dad, so I never got to have that kind of bond you had with your kid. But I feel like I've learned a lot from you, and I'm grateful I've somewhat finally gotten to know what that bond feels like.
Well then, in the spirit of gratitude, I would like for you to take this as a token of mine.
Do you want to give me your watch? No, sir, I can't possibly accept.
Modesty doesn't become you, Ricardo. In fact, I dare say that there is a lot more to you than you've let on. Don't get me wrong, you've done a great job hiding it, but there are moments that I feel you just can't help yourself. Now, I may not know what's going to happen to me after tonight, but I have a feeling that you have a bright future ahead of you.
What makes you so sure?
Call it intuition. If you won't take this watch as a mean of thanks, then take it along with you as a reminder of where you started. Use it as motivation for whatever you're pushing toward, and never give up until you've reached the top.
Well, all right, if you insist. Why do I have this strange feeling that you're also giving me this because you think you're gonna die tonight?
Don't worry, son. No matter what happens, I plan to face whatever adversity that may be coming my way head on. Just as I've always done.
Well, if that does happen to be the case tonight, and this is our last time ever speaking, then I thank you, Mr. Merlyn, for everything and more.
Truly, Ricardo, the pleasure was mine.
What the hell?
What is it?
You're gonna want to turn on the news.
As the murder investigation of Mayor William Murphy has continued on for the past month with no real progress being made from the SCPD, some new evidence has seemingly been brought to light from an unknown source.
What on earth?
A DNA analysis which has recently been leaked online has reported evidence not previously discovered that would implicate wealthy industrialist and philanthropist Malcolm Merlyn was somehow involved in the death of his longtime friend.
No.
With the weight of this shocking new development being presented and speculation of a cover-up in the air, Commissioner Virgil Durant of the SCPD has immediately issued a warrant for Merlyn's arrest.
No! I thought you took care of this.
I did take care of it.
Well, evidently not, if you've got the SCPD gunning for you now. What are we gonna do?
We continue as planned.
You're sure?
Yes. We can't allow a mild inconvenience to interfere with our grand design. We'll just have to prepare ourselves a bit ahead of schedule.
And by prepare, you mean you want to ready the devices in advance?
That's precisely what I want. No matter what, I want these devices to finish what we've started.
All right. Then I'll head to my site now, and I'll let the others know they need to get their devices online. How long until you can get the transmitter ready? Boss?
Oh, yes, of course. I will have the transmitter ready as soon as I get to my site.
You should probably head there now. The police are probably on their way here as we speak.
I will be on my way shortly. I have one other matter I want to look into beforehand.
But
don't worry about me, Ricardo. Just short of my death, I have no intention of letting anything stop me from carrying this out. Go on now. There's still work to be done.
Okay. If you say so, sir.
This is McKenna.
Gina, it's Malcolm.
Malcolm? You sound upset. Is something wrong?
You know damn well what's wrong. We had what I assumed was a private conversation regarding how my blood ended in Bill's office. So imagine my surprise to find it plastered all over Channel 52.
Oh, it's not just there. It's on other channels across the state, every blog I could find, and every social media platform I could think of. You're trending, Malcolm.
But why would you do this to me? I thought we had an understanding.
No. You thought you had successfully managed to convince me that you didn't murder one of your oldest friends by tossing him out of a window, and you thought I would be stupid enough to just take that lie at face value and do nothing with the evidence I found.
How could you possibly know I'm lying? You weren't there!
Maybe not. But I do have a witness that is willing to testify against you, claiming that you explicitly told him that you did it. And that's good enough for me.
But I...
Oh! Before I forget, they've also agreed to testify about your culpability in a plan to disperse an altered chemical narcotic across the city to infect the mass populace.
I'm assuming then that means your witness is Thea. Do you really think a jury will believe the testimony of a woman who is just as culpable in what she's accused me of?
Maybe I would be more worried had I not just spread your dirty laundry all over the internet.
You ungrateful bitch! God. Is this how you repay me after everything I've done for you over the years? Where's your sense of loyalty?
Loyalty has nothing to do with this. What you're doing is sick and wrong.
Wait a minute. Someone else said that to me fairly recently.
What a coincidence. Maybe it means you should listen to us.
No. I would find that to be a coincidence, if not for who it was that said it. This has something to do with Oliver, doesn't it?
This has nothing to do with Oliver. This has to do with the fact that everything you've done has perverted the one thing I always believed in.
You know, Gina, you're not the only one who can tell when someone is lying.
I'm not lying.
You aren't telling 100% of the truth either. And this whole situation reeks of Oliver's influence. Of course you're involved with him again. Oh, dear God. You two are like magnets, never able to stay apart for long.
At least I know where I stand with Oliver.
Do you now? You know, he's not without his own fair share of secrets.
He doesn't have any more than you do. Dark Archer.
Oh, I get it now. You found out the truth about him and decided to just throw in with him and his little band of misfits. Anything to excuse him from being held responsible for everything he's done.
Unlike you, Malcolm, Oliver doesn't shy away from owning up to his actions. He's at least trying to do better for the people he cares about.
You've made a grave mistake, throwing in your lot with the losing side, Gina. I certainly hope you live long enough to regret it.
Goodbye, Malcolm. You deserve everything that's coming to you.
Malcolm Merlyn, it's the SCPD. Open up. I repeat, this is the SCPD. Open this door, or we will break it down by force.
In for a penny, in for a pound, I suppose.
Malcolm Merlyn! Get your hands where I can see them, now!
Officers, I assure you that this excessive show of force is unnecessary. This is all simply a misunderstanding. Why don't we get your commissioner on the line? I'm sure that
You aren't calling anyone until we get you into lockup, dirtbag. Now put your hands up. We won't ask again.
Very well.
Yeah. Let me know if they're too tight.
Just a little bit.
Good. Now let's go.
You know, officers, I'm surprised you aren't more intrigued by all this.
What are you going on about? Just ignore him, Collins. You've got the right to remain silent, Merlyn. I suggest you use it.
Well, if I truly am the type of person who's capable of murdering someone and having it covered up to this sort of degree, well, that would certainly suggest I'm a man of many connections, wouldn't it?
Yeah? So what?
So, perhaps we can reach some sort of arrangement.
Are you trying to bribe us to let you go?
Oh, I would never even insinuate such a thing. But, before you arrived, I was on my way to carry out an important task. and would certainly offer to pay you handsomely for any assistance you'd be willing to provide in ensuring its completion.
Is that right? Listen here, you sack of shit. I've been on the force for a decade, and not once have I ever taken a bribe. I don't intend to start now just because you're rich, so you can take your little offer and
Now, about this task you want help with. How handsomely we talking?
So, did he take the bait?
Hook, line, and sinker. All the devices are online.
All right. Now, let's get those locations.
Give me a second. And done. Well, this is weird.
What's weird?
Where have you been?
I had a last-minute errand to run. But what's up with the devices? You run into any interference pinpointing the location?
No, that's not it. I did find them, but I only found 3 of them.
Only 3? That is weird. Connect to the overhead projector so we can all see what's going on.
When did we get a projector?
We've always had it. We just never had a reason to use it until now.
That's pretty fancy.
Does this frequency map match alongside a map of the city?
It's supposed to.
Then that would put one of them here at the dockyards.
I see one in Starling Heights.
That's gotta be Queen Consolidated. Damn you, Walter.
There's one over in Pennytown.
And I see the transmitter in the Glades. So where's the last one?
Do you think Merlyn is leaving it out for a backup plan?
No. I know where the 4th one is.
Where?
Look at the map where the transmitter is located in the Glades.
That's the Merlyn Clinic.
Uh-huh. We can't see it, because it's right there with the transmitter. He's taken it to where this all began for him.
He wants to end it where it started.
How do you want to handle this?
Let me go after the one at Queen Consolidated.
What?
Speedy, no. That's too risky.
This is my mess, Ollie. I need to be the one to clean it up.
If you go there, then you better know what you're doing.
I do. Thank you for trusting me.
Thea, wait. I'll come too.
John, you're needed at one of the other sites. I know every inch of Queen Consolidated like the back of my hand.
But
once I get inside, I'll look into the schematics of the devices and reach out to everyone so we can deactivate them.
What about Steele?
Don't worry. I know how to take care of myself. I learned from the best.
John.
Hey, don't you start, Oliver. I'm not letting her go in alone.
She can handle this.
How can you be so calm about this? This is your sister, man.
I'm aware of that. But I'm choosing to trust her. You should too.
Okay, fine. Now what?
Dinah, you'll go to Pennytown. John, you and Gina will go to the docks. Thea's got Queen Consolidated. And I'll take Merlyn in the Glades.
I don't like you going in without backup. Sure you can take him down this time?
I honestly don't know. I'm not just charging in blind anymore. I know exactly what I'm pushing myself towards. But I can't guarantee I know how tonight is going to go. I also can't guarantee I won't kill him if there really is no other way to stop this.
You do what you have to, man.
We're all behind you, whatever choice you have to make.
But we also have hope that you'll make the right decision when the moment counts.
I'll do my best.
That's all any of us can really do. So, are you ever gonna tell us what's in those cases you brought down?
It's a surprise. Gina, do you mind if I have a moment alone with Dinah and John?
No, not at all. I'll go ahead and head down to Starling Port to scope out the docks. Mind if I take a spare? The department took mine.
Sure. Knock yourself out.
Expect resistance. He's probably got these devices heavily guarded.
I hope he does. I definitely need an excuse to let out some aggression.
So, I've told you guys about why Tiana made my bow and hood, right?
You said she wanted you to have the right tools to carry out justice.
And in the spirit of that, I thought I would carry on that tradition by giving you guys something I've been working on for a bit. Go ahead. Open them.
Oh, wow.
Oliver.
Can't expect to go into battle without the right uniform.
You had these made for us?
Think of it as a thank you. Last year, we were all strangers uniting over a common goal. But through all the hardships we've endured and all the tough moments we've had to get through, we've become something more than just a team or partners. We're a family now. I am so grateful that I met the two of you. You've made this mission become so much more than anything I ever thought it would be. You helped me understand myself better, and when I was at my lowest, you stood by me. I wouldn't still be wearing this hood if it wasn't for either of you.
You're talking like we might not come back tonight.
We might not, but that doesn't mean we won't go down without a fight.
Damn straight.
John, you and I have clashed the most this year. You've just been trying to look out for me, and I've fought you at every turn. I know I've said it already, but I really am sorry for how I treated you.
You just said we were family, Oliver. Families fight sometimes, but they always have each other's backs. I know you have mine, and I will always have yours. We may not always get along, but in the end, that's all that matters, right?
Right. Now, let's suit up.
Here's our findings from the old site, ma'am.
Is that all you could find?
All we could find for the moment. It definitely looks like Queen has ransacked the place while we've been gone.
Of course. Place it on the table, then head back and continue looking with the others.
Yes, ma'am. Also, the client has been trying to reach out to us again.
So?
So, what should I say to him?
Tell him to continue being patient. Remind him that it is only out of respect for his benefactor that I update him at all.
Yes, ma'am.
What the hell was that?
This is Squad 2 reporting in. I repeat, this is Squad 2. Does anyone copy?
Copy that, Squad 2. This is home base. What's going on?
Well, ma'am, we're continuing our search of the campsite as instructed. But I thought I should call in to let you know we found a bunch of strange wires that weren't here before.
Wires. Any idea where they lead to?
They appear to lead to, some sort of box.
A box?
Yes, ma'am. We're moving in to open it and investigate further now.
What could he possibly be playing it with?
No, wait! Don't go near that! Damn it! Jackson, is that you? Squad 1, this is Chen Na Wei. Do you have any updates on the Queen campsite? Squad 1, I repeat, have you found Oliver Queen yet?
You know, subtlety has never been your strong suit, Mr. Queen. But still I am impressed by your resourcefulness. How many of my men did you have to kill over the past year before they told you I would be heading back to the old camp for our supply?
4. But I killed the rest anyway, just so they wouldn't stop me from setting up your little welcome home present.
Well, look at you. I see you finally embraced that killer instinct. Doesn't it feel so much more liberating not being weighed down by sentimentality or morality? I still have men on the island that will return here eventually. You're mistaken if you think this will be any different than last time.
That's where you're wrong. I've already taken care of all your men. This time will be different. Because there isn't anyone here to stop me from ending this.
I always knew she was holding you back. I should have just killed Tiana myself that night. I tried to make you do it. We could have sped up this process.
Don't you talk about her! You don't deserve to ever speak her name!
Alright, then let's talk about something else. Do you honestly even know why we're here? Do you have the slightest clue what it is we were creating?
Tiana told me you were cultivating a new form of drug to make a bigger name for yourself within the Triad.
So close, yet so far away from the point. The blue poppy flower that grows on this island when properly cultivated can make a great herbal medicine, or be abused as a narcotic. But I discovered that the flower's potency could be used to make a more violent substance. One that not only simulates insanity by irritating the amygdala gland, but also focuses the body's anabolic hormones into providing those afflicted with augmented strength. Someone paid me a lot of money to make this, and I aim to deliver.
You aren't leaving this island.
We'll see. As you may remember, I'm the one who's actually willing to do whatever it takes to survive here.
Oh, shit.
Well, Walter, after all these years, it's finally yours. What? Thea! How on earth did you get in past security?
I was raised here, Walter. I could find my way into this office blindfolded.
Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed your little visit. Relish it while you can until security comes to remove you.
You know, I've never really liked you, Walter.
Imagine my dismay. If we're being frank with one another, the feeling is absolutely mutual.
Fair enough. But do you know why I kept you around all these years?
Because you can't get rid of a major shareholder that easily?
A little bit of that. But also because of something Father once said about you. Walter's a bit of a snake sometimes, but I can always count on him to do the right thing for the company.
Robert always was quite earnest in his assessment of people, wasn't he?
And yet this is how you repay his trust. By giving his legacy and everything he and my mother fought over to someone like Malcolm Merlyn.
Oh, what do you want me to say, Thea? I know that Malcolm's plan sounds crazy, but all great visionaries throughout history have often been regarded as insane when all they really were was gifted with a way of seeing things in a way others can't. Honestly, can you really say that a utopia free of all the crime and corruption that has weighed Star City down for years isn't a tempting proposal to see through?
I was naive enough to believe that sadistic bastard's motives were genuinely altruistic once upon a time, Walter. But the road to hell is always paved with good intentions, and usually littered with nothing but consequences. You're honestly telling me that you're willing to go along with this at the cost of thousands?
Even at the cost of hundreds of thousands. Just think of how much our stock will go up when Merlyn Global and Queen Consolidated band together to raise the fallen city to its new glory in the aftermath of a major tragedy.
You disgust me.
I suppose it doesn't really matter what you think now. The fact of the matter is, I am protecting your family's legacy as I always have, and then some. I know I'm on the right side of history in this scenario. One day, you may even thank me. You call, Mr. Steele? Yes, indeed I did. Please make sure Miss Queen finds her way out of the building, preferably the way she came in, so we can seal off that area to prevent future surprise visits. With pleasure. Sorry about this, ma'am.
No, it's all right. I'm the one who should be sorry.
Oh, holy shit! Oh, dear God!
Put your arms down, you idiot, and grab my laptop.
What are you going to do?
You and I are going to take a walk. Preferably to wherever you have the dispersal device hidden.
Anything interesting happening inside?
Nothing yet. This is the right place according to the tracker. But it's weird how quiet everything is. Shouldn't there be some armed guards patrolling the area or something?
Probably means whoever is out here is lying in wait in case someone shows up. No point in standing out in the open to look conspicuous, given what they're protecting.
You're probably right. The device should be in that warehouse up ahead. Let's just keep our eyes peeled for now and be ready in case there's trouble.
Copy that.
Well, look at you and your spiffy new threads.
Is this too much? I feel like the helmet might be.
You look great. The helmet suits you too. Kinda reminds me of one of those Spartan warriors.
Really?
Really, really. Now come on. Let's go look for this device.
I'm gonna look through some of these crates. I'm gonna check the office upstairs.
You really think someone would just leave a doomsday weapon out in the open like that?
You would be surprised at how obvious people tend to be when they think they have the upper hand.
I couldn't agree more. I've always been more of a fan of the direct approach. But sometimes a little subterfuge can go a long way. Hey, Cap. How's suspension treating you?
Collins? You're in on this too?
Only for the last hour or so.
Why would you ever think you should work with someone like Malcolm Merlyn?
It's quite simple, really. He made me an offer, and he's got the money to back it up. In fact, it was so good, I just couldn't resist offering the boys to get involved as extra security.
Does the commissioner know that you're moonlighting for a wanted man?
As far as he's concerned, we're out looking for him and keeping an eye out for more vigilante sightings. For all intents and purposes, this is all just a minor disturbance call that we're doing our due diligence on.
Do you even understand what it is you're guarding?
Look, as long as the paycheck is big, I could care less. If the rich psycho wants to pay us a mint to keep one of these little devices safe, so be it. Wouldn't be the first questionable thing we've done for a load of cash. Right, boys? Oh, come on, Cap. Why the sour face?
I'm disgusted with you. All of you. We took up our badges to protect this city, not help some lunatic destroy it.
Oh, yeah? And what about you?
What about me?
I'm sure that high horse of yours has a real nice view of your own hypocrisy. So why don't you take a look around? Because we aren't the only ones acting out in spite of the oath. Ours just happens to pay better.
You're a disgrace to that badge.
Says the traitorous bitch who lets a vigilante brutalize her own officers.
Where's the device, Collins?
Who's this guy supposed to be, huh? The hood get another groupie?
I'm the guy who's gonna make sure you can't joke so easily after I stomp my boot down on your jaw. So I suggest you start talking while you can.
Whoa. You hear that? This piece of trash just threatened an officer of the law. I think this situation has just been escalated from minor disturbance to life-threatening. Light 'em up, boys! We'll see who stomps down on who in the end!
Keep your heads on a swivel, boys. The boss is expecting trouble.
I guess that makes me trouble.
Well, look who it is. I thought the boss chewed you up and spit you out, little birdie.
That was his mistake.
Not one I plan on repeating.
Oh, promises, promises. You really think I can't handle you? Loser.
Sweetheart, it ain't me you gotta worry about handling. It's them.
No, don't!
What'd you do to me?
What have you done?
Oh, come on. You really didn't think after all this work I would let an opportunity like this slip past me? The chance to finally be able to see this stuff in action? Now, as much as I'd love to keep chatting with you, I'm not suicidal. I'm going to step back so I can watch the show from a comfortable distance.
Oh my god.
Have fun! Personally, I'm gonna enjoy watching them clip your wings for good.
All right, Dinah. Here goes, well, everything.
Memory is a funny thing. It doesn't matter how many good days or bad days you have with someone. All it takes is one horrifically tragic event, and that will forever be the one thing you will always remember about them. Am I wrong? Tell me your first and last memory you immediately think of with Tommy isn't the moment he dropped you from the Queen's Gambit.
I can't. Every time I close my eyes, the only thing I see is the island. And Tommy. And all the mistakes in between.
So, you do understand.
I do.
Then why? Why? Why do you persist on opposing? If you understand, then you know exactly why this is necessary.
Just because I understand doesn't mean that makes it any less wrong.
Wrong? Wrong according to whom? The young billionaire who spent his entire life disregarding others out of his own selfishness, who only realized that other people matter when he had no other choice? Where was your moral outrage and compassion when Tommy needed it most? Why do you get a second chance at the cost of his existence?
I am sick and tired of explaining and apologizing for what happened to Tommy! You want to hear it again? I'm sorry, Malcolm. I'm sorry that he chose my life over his. But I have lived every day since then trying to honor that sacrifice and have it be worth something. That's what I'm trying to do now, by being here with you, in this moment!
What the hell are you going on about?
I'm trying to do what your son did for me, and save you from yourself.
It's too late for me, Oliver.
It's not too late! Malcolm, there is no reason that we can't just stop all of this and walk out of here together. You can still have a second chance at being the person that Tommy and Miss Becca saw you as. You don't have to be this thing you've turned yourself into.
I can't.
Why not?
I just can't! You don't get it!
Then make me understand! Because I don't see one good reason why we can't leave and end this before there really is no turning back!
I found out that Bill was the one responsible for the events that led to Rebecca's death.
He was? Is that why you killed him?
Yes. He claimed it was all an accident. But it's not like that makes any sort of difference. That bloated little toad said nothing to me for years while I lined his pockets and allowed him to have free rein as he propped himself up on the city that was rotting beneath him. Do you understand now? I helped the man who murdered my wife turn this city into the very thing I've grown to hate. Finishing this mission is the only way I have left to atone for what part I've played in that.
But it doesn't have to be the only way.
You say that as though it's a simple decision.
Why can't it be?
You're really gonna stand before me with a hood and bow you clearly didn't make and say walking away from what you believe in is that easy? That's what I thought. There is no turning back for me, Oliver. This is it. Whether I die by your hands or by way of Ouroboros, it makes no difference now. This ends tonight. One way or another.
If that's really how this has to be, then I'll do what I have to in order to stop you. Even if that means tonight is the end for both our journeys.
Is that right? Well, I certainly have to admit your resolve does sound intriguing. You know, by my count, we're all tied up.
What's all tied up?
Our little sparring sessions. I tallied a win for you in our last one we had in my office, which gives us both one win each and 2 ties between us. If tonight should be our end, why not let it end on a tiebreaker? What do you say, Oliver? One final round? Winner takes all?
We don't have time for this. Where's the transmitter?
Both transmitter and dispersal device are on the rooftop. If you want to get to either, you'll have to go through me.
Malcolm.
You really need to learn some new tricks.
Don't worry. I have.
No! Oh, no, you don't!
All right, let's take a moment to take a breath and reassess. Okay, good. Now, I thought the game plan here was to take her down.
It was. But I didn't know she was gonna turn herself into that... whatever the hell that was.
Fair enough. So what's the new plan? You didn't just run all the way out here purely on instinct.
Well, presuming I ran in the right direction, we should be close to the northern shore by now.
You thinking of taking her boat?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. She wants her damn narcotics so bad, she can be stuck here with them.
What if she didn't dock on this side? You plan on running all over the island until you find her ship?
I'm more than positive that it's here. Sure, there is a slight possibility that she could have decided to take the risk with the jagged rocks surrounding most of the island. But I doubt she'd jeopardize her only way off just to throw me off my game.
I'll be damned. She really is that predictable.
There it is. My ticket out of here.
Looks like she decided to come back for more than just her drug supply.
I knew she had more fuel stashed somewhere on this island. Guess that means she probably doesn't have much left in the tank for the return trip. Then again, I guess that would make sense, given this is a smaller vessel than I thought she'd be using. Oh! I'm bleeding? What the hell hit me?
No. Oliver, you were trying to leave without me, were you?
What? What the hell have you done to yourself?
I'm not exactly certain, but I like it. I mean, look at me. I can certainly see why my client has been wanting this from me so earnestly. Her strength is very intoxicating. It's rude to interrupt! Oh, that sounds like it really hurt. You know, Oliver, I don't think I'll kill you. I'm having so much fun with you now that I think I'll let you scurry off and lick your wounds so that we can just keep playing this little cat and mouse game until your body eventually gives out. Doesn't that sound like fun? Is that all you have?
I'm not playing any sort of game with you. I'd rather die.
If that's what you wish.
You gotta get up. This isn't over yet.
I'm trying. I'm not done yet.
Oh, but you are. Don't feel too sad, though. Soon you'll get to be reunited with Tyle.
Try surviving this, you crazy bitch!
This is insanity. We should be fighting together, not with each other. Don't you want to save this city?
Not at the cost of all the pain you're gonna create.
Pain? What do you know of pain, Oliver? How could you possibly even think for a moment that this wouldn't be a mercy compared to the slow agony this city has been suffering through for decades?
You think I don't understand pain? You think I don't know what it means to suffer? I lost my parents. I lost Tommy. I've lost more than I can even begin to explain to you on that island, Malcolm. But I still know there's a better way to save this city than to just keep using my own pain as justification for my actions.
Then maybe you just have a higher fortitude for pain than I do, Oliver. Because not a day has gone by since Rebecca's death that I don't feel the ache in my heart, as if something has been ripped away from me.
And what do you think she would say if she could see you now? I remember Miss Becca being kind. I remember her being loving and joyful about everything that existed in the world, whether it was good or bad. I also remember her being one of the most selfless people I had ever met. How do you think she would feel about all the atrocities you've committed in her name?
I do think sometimes on whether or not she would hate the person I've become in her absence. But then I just have to remember. If someone like me would have existed back then, none of this would have ever happened in the first place.
Oh, no, you don't. Well, come on then. Don't just scream at me. Do something about it. I'm right here. Okay, I'm starting to run out of time here. Think time. Come on. That scaffolding should work. Excuse me. Come on. Come on. And stay down. I hope you enjoyed the show. You got anything planned for the encore? Oh, come on. What's the matter, little dragon? You got cold feet? What are you waiting for? You too afraid to come clip my wings yourself? Look at that. I made you prettier.
gonna enjoy this. Stop spinning around and die already. I'm gonna do what the boss should have done when you attacked him. I'm so sick of you vigilante freak shows thinking you run the streets now. This is my city. You hear me?
I can't help but notice you aren't wearing earplugs.
What?
This is Canary. I'm clear on my side.
Hey, what did you do to me? I can't.
All right. Now I'm clear.
You alright?
I'm all right. Look out!
End of the road for you, little girl.
Ugh.
McKenna, do you need backup?
I'm good. I got this.
Okay. This means I got this.
What's the matter, Paul? This little girl got you whooped already?
You know something, Cap? I've been aching to take a shot like this at you since the day you got promoted.
Aww. You know, flattery will get you nowhere with me.
God! It feels so good to finally hit you in that smart-ass mouth of yours! Oh!
Gee, Paul. Tell me how you really feel.
Stop it! Stop it with the smart damn call!
All right. Then tell me something. Why bother sticking with Central? If you hate me that much, why put yourself through that?
Because I was hoping one day I'd get to wipe that bitch look off your face! Got something smart to say now?
You call that a punch? Barely felt it.
I swear, I'm gonna rip your goddamn tongue out! I'm gonna kill you!
This is over, Paul. You've lost.
Not yet, I haven't.
No!
Like I said, end of
I got your back.
Never doubted that for a moment. Officer Collins, you have the right to remain silent. Lord knows I'm tired of hearing you talk. God damn don't have time for locked doors! I've got it!
This is Dig. We're secure on our side.
You know, we should probably come up with a better code name than just Dig, right?
It's a work in progress. How you doing on yours, Thea?
I've almost found it. I'll update you when I find... Hold on. Really? You put a high-tech, highly sensitive piece of equipment in the storage area for the cleaners?
It was the only place I could store it in secret without arousing suspicion.
Just sit down and be good, or I'll shoot you in the leg. Now, this shouldn't be too hard. Done.
How are you doing this? I locked you out!
With encryption, a grad student could crack by throwing a beer can at it. You're not very tech-savvy, Walter.
What are you even looking for?
The schematics to defuse this thing. Given you aren't smart enough to back up sensitive files and delete them, it probably won't take long to... Found it. All right, everyone. I just found the schematics for the devices. Give me a minute to look everything over and work.
I've waited too long for an opportunity like this to let you take it away from me. I worked harder and longer than anyone else here. This is my company. Not your family's, not your father's, and certainly not yours. You queens. You always think you know what's best for this city. The city rotted under your parents' care, and you're no better. You want to judge me for my involvement, but you facilitated more destruction in helping with this entire mess than anything I've done. I kept this place running. You don't deserve any of this. I do. Me! Oh, you shot me!
Yeah. And I'll take out your knees next if you try that again. Now sit there and shut up. I need to concentrate. Sorry about that, guys.
You okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry, I took care of it. Now, let's defuse these damn things.
You truly are fighting with such fierceness now. I can hardly believe this is the same young man I once reviled for his incompetence and aloof behavior towards anything remotely responsible. Who knew Thea would end up being the real burnout in the end?
Don't you dare talk about my sister like that!
My sister has more strength than either of us will ever have, given just how long she withstood having to deal with you, without letting the guilt and abuse you inflicted upon her consume her completely.
Of course. How could I forget? Nothing is ever truly a queen's fault. No. All of you are just perfect beings, without flaw, and only capable of making a bad decision if someone else has forced you into it. Let me make this clear. I may have made the offer, but she willingly came along for the ride. I will admit, though, I do regret allowing my friendship with your father to cloud my judgment and not see her weakness until it was almost too late.
Emotional connections aren't a weakness, Malcolm. They're what keep us human!
Is that what has you here fighting so hard to convince me to step out into the light? Human connection.
I'm here because I know what feeling you're allowing to drive you to this point. And I'm not gonna stop trying to bring you back from that ledge until I've either convinced you or die trying.
I certainly know my preference. Finally! We've reached the climax. Now, I can't say I'm surprised by who's holding the knife on who, but you should rejoice, all of them. Soon, you'll be able to see all of those you've lost again, and all this fighting will finally be over. Come now, you fought bravely here, son, but it was never in doubt whose commitment would win out over the other. You should feel honored to have fought so commendably for your cause.
Survive.
You don't honor the dead by dying.
What?
You honor them by living and surviving!
No! What have you done?
I did what I had to. I just found another way to do it.
No. No! God damn you! I won't let you do this! I won't give up that easily!
Malcolm, stop! It's over!
No! I won't let this be the end!
Why, Malcolm? Why can't you just let this insanity end?
Because it's all I have left! If I don't finish this, if I don't carry out what began here so many years ago, after everything I've done, then what the hell was this all even for? If I don't have this, then I have nothing.
That isn't all that's left. That's not what either of our loved ones would have wanted for you.
And what about you? With all the plans and dreams your parents had for you, do you really think that running across the rooftops, carrying out your own brand of vigilante justice, is at all within that scope? None of us can ever truly live up to the ideals of others as we plod our own destinies. All we can do is the best with what we're given.
And you really think this is the best you can do? Maybe my parents wouldn't be happy with the path I've taken, but it's mine. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's the right one.
And just how is it you are so damn certain of that?
Because I have hope, Malcolm.
Hope?
Yes. Hope. As long as you keep hope alive, anything is possible. I have to believe that hope exists for everything I'm doing for this city. Just like I have to believe that there's still hope for you.
Hope is everything. As long as you keep hope alive, anything is possible.
Of course. How could I have been so stupid?
Malcolm.
Little over 20 years ago now, Rebecca was standing just about where you are now, and she said something similar to me on the importance of hope. Her biggest goal for this clinic was for it to become the heart that Star City needs. What have I done? Sweet Jesus, what have I done? In all my stubborn determination, I almost blindly destroyed the one thing that she believed in the most. The possibility of what this city could be, as long as hope was kept alive.
Nothing has been done that can't be undone. There's still time to fix things.
I suppose that's true. I really do miss your father, Oliver. His kindness kept me balanced in the early days after Rebecca passed. I see a lot of him in you, you know. Not just his looks, but I see his idealistic, cavalier spirit alive and well, despite my best efforts to ruin it.
I wish I could give him the credit. But truthfully, I gave life to that spirit all on my own. I would have died on that island if I hadn't.
A strength born of your own merit. Perhaps that's why it's so formidable. You know, Rebecca loved the city at night. She said it was like it became someplace brand new in the moonlight.
I have to admit, it really is a sight to behold.
Captivating, even. I'm really glad I got the chance to really appreciate this one last time.
One last time? What's that supposed to mean?
It means you've won. And I'm very tired. Rebecca, forgive me.
Malcolm! Malcolm, hold on.
It's okay, Oliver.
No, it's not okay. What the hell are you doing?
Oliver, look at me.
No, it doesn't have to end like this.
Oliver. It's okay to let me go. You were right all along, my boy. I've been living this life that's been so full of anger and hatred for so long that I completely forgot what made this mission so important to me in the first place.
That doesn't mean this is the only choice you have left.
Don't you see? It's not the city that can't change. It does that every second, as simply as it goes from night to day. It's only me who's been refusing to acknowledge that until now. Honestly, Just look at all of what you've managed to accomplish in 1 year, opposed to the 15 that I've spent mired in my own grief. I'm proud of you, Oliver.
Malcolm, please.
It may not be what they wanted for you, but I know your parents would be just as proud of the man you've become as well.
Stop talking like this and give me your other hand, Malcolm. Please. Please let me save you.
You already have, son.
No!
Oliver, you there? We've taken care of all the devices on your end. What's your status?
Transmitter's down. And I have the device secured.
And Merlyn?
He made his choice.
Does that mean he's...
Yeah. John. He's gone.
Green Arrow Year 1 stars Jake Johnston as Oliver Queen. VHS as John Diggle. Gina Stockwell as Dinah Lance. Summer Rose as Thea Queen. J.D. Shouse as Malcolm Merlyn. Colima Acevedo as Gina McKenna and Rebecca Merlyn. Noelle Pennison as Chen Na Wei. Wyatt West as Paul Collins. With Joseph Bozlinski as Ricardo Diaz. And Wyatt Bowden as Tommy Merlyn and Walter Steele. Featuring additional voices by Alex B., Jeremy Tucker, and Wyatt Bowden. Story written and directed by Wyatt Bowden. Music scored by Wolfnumber9 and Ryn Weatherford. Featuring additional music brought to you by the Knighthood Project. Audio engineered by Cameron Dixon. Series art by Evan Collin. Edited by Joseph E.W. Series produced by CBW Productions and the Knighthood Project. With Ouroboros halted and Merlyn's forces defeated, the team ponders on their future. But just as the sun may follow the rain, so too can more dark clouds appear on the horizon. Next time on Green Arrow Year 1. Zelenaya Strelka. In order to be the beacon of hope your city needs, you have to become someone else. You have to become something else.